Here it says select all of the correlation coefficients that represent a linear model with weak correlation. You want to make sure that you don't make the mistake of seeing weak and thinking that means small, and perhaps thinking maybe I should just pick the smallest numbers, these negative numbers. That is not the case. Let me briefly go over correlation coefficient with you. Correlation coefficient says how strong the relationship is between the variables that you are looking at on your scatter plot. It's either positive or negative. And what that tells you is if the line of best fit has a negative slope, it's going down from left to right, or a positive slope. Then as far as the number that you are given, it ranges from -1 to +1. And the key thing to remember is that if the correlation coefficient is 0, that means there is no correlation. So if 0 is no correlation, the further away it gets from 0, the stronger it is. So the closer it goes towards 1 or -1. Okay? So the closer it is to 0, the weaker it is. So let's look at a couple of examples. If we look at -0.94, that is closer to -1. So that is strong. And positive 0.94 is closer to +1. So that is also strong. Where if we look at -0.12, that's closer to 0. So that is weak. And if we look at positive 0.12, that's also close to 0. So that is also weak. So if we look at these choices here, which of these are weak? Which of these are close to 0, whether they are positive or negative? And I see two of them. This one is pretty close to 0. And this one is pretty close to 0. So these would be the two weak correlation coefficients.